Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a Chanel reveal. Before anything else, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If these are the kinds of videos that you like watching, I would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button down below, and if you're interested in following me on my socials, it's at TrishDLF. So today's video is going to be a reveal, and if you've seen the thumbnail, you probably already know what it is. But I just wanted to give a backstory on this first because I know I said no more bags. In the 2021 wish list that I made in February, I noted that I don't need any more bags. However, I got this specific bag last year, and I actually already had this bag when I filmed my designer handbag collection for 2021. It's just that, as you guys know, I'm trying to keep my bags to a minimum, and I wanted to sell at least one bag off of my collection first before I show this specific bag to you guys. So yeah, this has been in my closet for a while now. However, I didn't want to reveal it just yet because I wanted to sell some bags. I've actually just sold just one from that collection which I filmed in Feb, but yeah, I feel like since I already sold one, I can bring one in. So yeah, let's just get to it. I'm going to be revealing it first to you guys, and then I'll talk about it more in depth, and I'll be explaining to you guys some of the reasons why I got it once I've opened and showed it to you guys. So here we go. I actually got this bag from Lux In Official last year. I will leave their links down below. This specific bag just came with the dust bag and the authenticity card. And as usual with all my bags, if I get them pre-loved, I always have them authenticated. So I've already had this authenticated right after I purchased it, and it's authentic. So without further ado, let's just reveal this little baby. And as the title says, it's a reveal because I'm only showing it to you guys now, although I've had it for a while now. So it's just in this Chanel dust bag, and inside is this beautiful Chanel jumbo flap in this chevron quilting and silver hardware, and this in the lambskin leather. So as you guys can see, it may look like your typical jumbo classic flap, but this actually a seasonal flap, hence it having no Mona Lisa pocket at the back. And this specific bag is actually called the Chanel double stitch chevron flap bag in the jumbo size. The series 21 bag, so it's actually one of my newer pre-loved bags because my classic flap over there is series 7 and my reissue is a series 16. So this being series 21, it's actually one of the newer ones, which is why I feel I got it at a really great price. But anyway, so this is series 21, which means it was from a 2015 collection, and it's called the double stitch chevron flap bag because of the double stitching, as you can see over here. So it's called double stitch because there's actually 2 stitches in between each chevron flap, whereas regular chevrons would just have like 1 stitch separating each chevron leather. I'm not sure if I have a chevron. Do I have a chevron? Oh wait, my YSL card holder is chevron, so I will show you guys. And as you can see, this is a chevron leather. I'll just do close-ups for this. But basically, you can see this one is just a single stitch separating each chevron from the other, whereas this Chanel flap has 2 stitches separating each. So that's the name that I was able to search online on what this bag is called. Like if you go on Fashion File, if you search the double stitch chevron flap, this is the bag that's going to come up. However, I'm not sure if there's any other name for it. I'm sure like in Purse Forum, they have like an archive there. But yeah, so far that was the name that I was able to find, so we will just call this the chevron double stitch flap. So as I mentioned, this is a seasonal flap, and the characteristics of this bag that would show that it's seasonal is that first and foremost, it doesn't have the half moon pocket. I'm not sure if it's called the Mona Lisa or the half moon pocket at the back, which regular classic flaps do. And another main characteristic which shows that this is a seasonal flap are the little details which are stamped on the hardware. So as you can see, if you close up on the C's, this one has like a Chanel Paris sign on the actual CC of the flap bag on the closure. So again, I will just zoom in everything. But usually when it's a seasonal flap, that's really one detail that you will find in a lot of their seasonal flaps. And the next, you can also notice that on the grommets over here, so these are the 4 grommets. If you look closely, you can see that engraved on the grommets are the words 31 Rue Cambon and Chanel on it. So they're engraved on those hardware, whereas your classic regular flaps will not have those kinds of details. So those are just the main telling signs. Also, if you look at the chain, it has your typical intertwined chain leather detail, but over here, as you can see, it has this additional leather strap on the actual chain strap, which regular jumbo flaps don't have. So if it's a regular classic jumbo flap, it would just have the chains all over it without any leather strap over here. Okay, next let's go to the interior, and I've actually already had this stuffed and lined with a bag organizer, as you can see over there. So this specific bag is in lambskin, and it's not a double flap, as you can see, it's just single flap. So this bag is actually very soft, and it's not like your typical classic flaps where the structure is really there. As you can see, even on the side, you can see that there's already like slight dentation on here on the rear of the bag, because if you wear it towards on your shoulder, it will really like dent when you wear it a lot. And you know, this has been used, this is a pre-loved bag, so it already has that dent over there. So this specific seasonal flap is actually very soft, so I really had to line it with extra lining, which is this bag organizer over here. So this bag organizer actually really helps with the structure of the bag. This is from, I think, Bag Organizers PH. I will just link them down below. But basically, because this is more of like, this has a more structured material, like the felt on it is more structured, so it at least gives the bag a little bit of shape. And when I'm storing the bag, it helps the bag stay up. So without it, as you can see, it's actually very, very soft. Like you can see how the lower part easily like goes down. That's why I really need the bag organizer with it. But since I'm showing you guys the interior, I have to remove the organizer and show you guys. Basically, this is the interior. So it just has some maroon textile interior with a zip pocket over here, and it still came with, oh here, it came with the authenticity card. It is a 21 series, as I mentioned earlier, and then the Lux In cards. So aside from the authenticity card, Lux In official also gives their own authenticity cards with it. So yeah, I just left it inside. So yeah, this is what it looks like inside, and as you can see, it's very, very soft and pliable. It's not like your typical classic flap. And another detail is you can see the CC over there inside. And yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna stuff it back up again, and then I will talk more about the bag, and I'll share you guys the reasons why I got this bag. Okay, now we'll talk more about the bag. So when it comes to the pre-loved market of Chanel bags, you can never time it. You can never plan your purchases in advance, because when a bag comes up with a really good deal, you only have like about a day, or like even sometimes less than a day to think about it, because if not, someone else is going to get ahead of you and snap that bag up even before you can. So you have to be really good with like the decision making process. You have to be like very, what do you call it, snappy about it. You have to be able to weigh your pros and cons, and you have to be able to gauge whether a bag is a good deal or not whenever it comes up in the pre-loved market. So for this bag, it basically came up at a really good price last year. It was about the same price as my 2 previous Chanels. If you watch my Luxury Time Machine tag video, you would know how much I got those 2 bags. But basically, I saw this bag come up at a price almost similar to those 2 over there. So I was just like, wow. And this was post price increase, okay? So for you to be able to find a bag at this good of a price. I mean, it was just basically the same price that I paid for those two previous bags, and I got those two way before the price increase. So for this bag and those two bags to have the same price in 2021, that was already such a great deal. So I snapped it up because I knew how great of a deal it was, and yes, I was not ready to buy a new bag yet at that time, but when you see a classic bag, you just have to be ready for it because you're never gonna see that deal ever again, basically. So why the jumbo bag? I didn't buy this bag out of impulse. I mean, yes, it was not a planned purchase, but the Chanel jumbo flap, the classic jumbo flap, has always been in the back of my head. I feel like I just really want to build a Chanel collection with one classic each. So all in black. Maybe later down the line I could do like a pre-love caramel or classic beige. But for now, I feel like the best basic classic collection would be like one of each. The classic medium flap, a reissue, a jumbo, maybe a mini. I already had a mini before, but like eventually again, like if I have more funds, a mini. So the boy is also a classic. Basically, I wanted to cover like one of each in black, just so I have like that core collection. And because I really love Chanel, I knew that one of each was fine. So because I have the golds and the classics, I really wanted the silver for like my silver jewelry, and I felt like silver is more of like a young color, and I really knew that the classic jumbo flap in silver hardware would be like the perfect casual bag, because having the jumbo in gold hardware is just like too flashy for me. I feel like for the gold hardware, the classic medium is actually the perfect size. But since the jumbo is such a big bag already as is, like I feel like having silver as the hardware for that bag would make it like more casual and less like in your face. So I felt like with silver hardware, you could dress that to be like more sporty and whatever. Also, because of the price increases, I knew that the classic jumbo flap would be much harder to get later down the line because they just keep on increasing. And so I knew in my heart that the earlier I get it now, even pre-love, like the more I would be able to save rather than waiting later down the line to get the jumbo, even pre-love, because for sure even the pre-love prices would go up much higher if I wait any longer. So I always just casually browse. I'm always updating myself with the prices of the jumbos, but the jumbo and the classic flap is really expensive even in the pre-love market these days. So I would just see the prices, and I always just do that to update myself so that I know a good deal when I see one. As much as I want the jumbo flap for collector purposes and like core collection purposes, I stumbled on this bag, which is also a jumbo, although it's not the exact specs that I was looking for, but for the price, this was already such a good deal. So the main reason that I bought this bag is to eventually flip it for a jumbo. So this is kind of like a stepping stone to the jumbo classic flap, and also in silver hardware, because it's so similar already. Like I feel like for now it will scratch the itch of being a jumbo flap, and in comparison to the jumbo classic flap, it's actually so much lighter because as you saw earlier, the interior is just like in a textile fabric, so that's one of the reasons why it's lighter, and it's a lot less leather as compared to the classic jumbo where you have like a double flap. So those are some of the things that I like about it. And the main reason that I got it was basically because it was such a good price that I knew I could flip eventually. So while I haven't found the perfect classic jumbo flap, because they're all like in steep prices right now, I got this one first because it was such a good price where I could mark it up eventually in the future, because obviously the prices of the Chanel flaps as time progresses will also go up. So because I was able to get this at a good deal, because the Chanel prices are also going to go up eventually, I would actually be able to sell this for much more. So that's why this is my stepping stone towards the classic jumbo flap, because I know that once I find the classic jumbo for a very good deal, I can sell this bag for profit, and I would only have to add much less than what I would be shelling out if I buy a classic jumbo straight up cash. So that's one of the reasons why I bought this bag. It's a really great deal. I would be able to make money out of it eventually, but at the same time right now where I'm still hunting for that jumbo flap, I would still be able to use it for the same purpose as a jumbo. So there, those were basically my reasons on why I got this flap bag. I feel like this is a bag where I would be able to get my money back plus a little more profit after when I do decide to sell. When I got this bag, this was in really great condition. Actually, since I got it, nothing much has changed even if I've used it a bit. So again, I'll just quickly mention basically the condition that it came in, because I didn't even bother touching up this bag anymore because it was in really great condition for the price. So basically, as you can see, it's just this. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's just the little dent at the back from where all the quilting is still fluffy, but as you can see, like it's a little dented, which actually it's not even seen because you're gonna wear it like this, right? And then most of the wear when I got this bag was just really at the bottom. So as you can see, like there were corner scuffings, which are like obviously for a lambskin bag, like you would really have corner scuffings, but that is basically it. And the interior was great, everything was great. So really, this was such an amazing deal, amazing score. And yeah, so I can do like an in-depth video, an in-depth review video of this bag later down the line once I've used it more. But for now, this is the bag in all its glory and all its beauty. Like, look at it. Such a beautiful bag. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button down below to help the YouTube algorithm. And if you're interested in following me on my socials, it's @ChurchDLF. I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!